Today I'm going to talk a little bit about a story I had of a player who I was coaching this afternoon. They're an aggressive baseliner, and I say that very lightly. They like to hit the ball extremely hard all of the time, and it can win you a lot of points, but also can be your Achilles heel and lose you a lot of points very quickly. If you lose a lot of range, it can spiral quite quickly, and for this player it does. It ends up becoming a match of errors, and the player probably loses the match more than the opponent wins it. So I use an analogy, which I want to share with you, is based around being a race car driver. Now, if you think of race car drivers, they go around a track, there's certain turns on the track, and there's usually one straight, part of a racetrack. And I said to them, okay, if you're driving in a race and you're in a car and you go around a corner, what speed would you roughly go around different corners? And we had some different sharpness of angles that I drew on a whiteboard, and they said, around the sharp angles you might go 25% to 50% of your speed, and then I drew a lesser sharp angle and they're like maybe 50% speed around that angle, and then it was like going down the home straight. They go, that's when I can go at 100% speed if I'm driving a car. So if you're doing that because of safety reasons and not wanting to crash, why are you playing every ball as hard and aggressive as you possibly can when there's going to be different situations of safety in the match? So if an opponent is attacking you, pushes you behind the baseline, you're in defense, what speed of ball maybe you need to play from there? And they spoke about, maybe 50%. I was like, okay, great. What about the one that you're moving lateral, where you're not in position, your feet aren't really set up, but you've got a little bit of time? Oh, well, maybe I can go 75% there. I said, oh, great. What about the short one that sits up, that's inside the service line, that's above net level, and you have time and space, and you're there setting up your feet? And they said, I can go at 100% there. I said, okay, great. So basically you've got to transform yourself into that race car driver and think your way through what is a dangerous situation. A defensive one, what might be a neutral situation where you can maybe go a little bit faster, but when do I need to be able to put the foot to the floor and go, okay, now I can go aggressively? Because right now what this player was doing was making a lot of mistakes because of their decision making around playing aggressively too often on the wrong shots. So we created the analogy of race car driver to be able to decrease speed when needed and increase speed when needed, to make sure the analogy in their brain was all about, okay, this is not the time where I go 100%, but then when I have my feet planted, I'm inside the court, I have time and space, that's when I can go aggressive. So, using analogies for me is a really important part to connect the story to players, and being able to connect the story to this player was really important. So we spoke about the race car driver and the decisions you need to make on every single ball to make sure that you decrease your errors and increase the possibility of your opponent making an error.